Welcome to the Brother from Another program. It's the brother from another family. It really is. It's usually Michael Smith, my brother from another, and myself today. Michael cannot make it today, and he may not be able to make it this week. Look, it's something on this show. We talk all the time, very unapologetically on this show. We talk about our faith. So keep Michael in your prayers, keep his family in your prayers. And we are hopeful that Michael is back soon and to make the show what it normally is. We will try to hold it down without him, though, and I think we will. We'll hold it down until our brother returns. And I got to tell you, Michael Smith, if you're watching somewhere, if you're listening somewhere, ooh, you better be glad you're not here today, because if you were here today, I don't think you'd be able to say anything. For the first time in a long time, I think you'd be speechless, because we would start off with the Urban Meyer situation. And it's a situation in Jacksonville. Now, for those who follow the show very closely, you know I've been talking with Michael for a while about Urban Meyer. And he's under the impression that I'm talking about Urban Meyer because I'm some scorned Ohio State Buckeyes fan. By the way, there are no such things as scorned Ohio State Buckeyes fans. We've had so much success over the years. What's there to be concerned about? What's there to be scorned about? One of the premier programs in the country, but I digress. This has nothing to do with Ohio State. It has nothing to do with Urban Meyer personally. It is just what I see. Urban Meyer is not a good fit for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's never been a good fit for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And even when he started to get it right, he started to get it right a little bit after their Thursday night football loss to the Cincinnati Bengals. 24-21, last second field goal. Trevor Lawrence played well. Robinson, the running back, who only got 5 carries in his first start under Urban Meyer, actually had 2 touchdowns. Urban Meyer made some good coaching decisions, but they lose to Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals, 24-21. After that game, you remember Urban Meyer said post-game, look, I'm usually not wrong about this. I'm not wrong about this. There's some wins in that locker room. I'm heartbroken for these guys. You know, we're going to turn this thing around. Yes, we are. And what does he do? You can't make this up. What does he do? He doesn't even get on the plane with his team going back to Jacksonville. Team gets on the plane. He's heartbroken for the guys. It's a bonding moment, you think, for the Jaguars. He doesn't get on the plane. What does he do? He goes from Cincinnati to Columbus, where he's got his own restaurant. And he is caught because I don't know. Does he think there's not the internet? Does he think there's not Google? Does he think there's not cell phones in the great state of Ohio? He starts doing some things at a bar at his restaurant with a young woman who is not his wife, and he is caught, and that goes viral, rightfully so. And now Urban Meyer is a pro coach in name only, a pro coach doing college things, doing silly things, and has to apologize to his team because his mantra in Jacksonville is own it. And so now he's got to own that when they were going back to Jacksonville, thinking about how they could get better as a team, theoretically, their head coach was in his own restaurant looking for pats on the back in one of the states where he made his name as a college coach, and getting pats on the back and other things. But it's a family show. But you get the idea. Anyway, this is not going to end well. Shad Khan, owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, released a statement today. And I'm not going to read the whole thing to you, but it's just the whole point is Urban Meyer has to do a lot to regain the credibility and the trust of his players. But respectfully, Shad, I think it's too late for that. From the start, some of us, I wasn't the only one, some of us looked at this and said, this is not really an ideal fit. So he had to gain trust and credibility before he even walked into the door in Jacksonville. maybe that's not fair, but some guys who are known as pro coaches come in with a little cachet, and others who are either unknowns or known for their work in the college game have to prove that they know how to deal with fully grown men. See, this is what Urban doesn't understand. These guys aren't on scholarship. They're not looking for his blessing. They're not trying to curry favor with Urban Meyer so he'll say some nice things to the NFL scouts who come on campus so they can go from being a third-round pick to a second-round pick or a second-round pick to a first-round pick. These are guys who are already established in the league, a lot of them, and they are on equal level with Urban, if not on a higher level. They've got guaranteed contracts or guaranteed money. If they don't make it in Jacksonville, they can go somewhere else in the league. In college football, whether it was at Utah or Florida or Ohio State, Urban Meyer was the gatekeeper. Urban Meyer was the final word on everything, not here. So when you go there in front of grown men and try to tell them some half-truths or some story that doesn't necessarily add up, it's hard to be credible. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to work out. Michael Silver has done some really good reporting on this, and if you just take his reporting, it is consistent with what's been out there before. Jason LaCanfora had a report after the first game of the year saying that staff and players were a little discouraged, a little concerned about the methodology of Urban Meyer. Not a surprise. Once again, you know how many games he lost at Ohio State? His entire time in Columbus, he lost 9 games at Ohio State. Oh, he's going to lose 9 games at least this year in Jacksonville. As a matter of fact, if he only loses 9, it will be an upset. If they finish 8-9, that's a pretty good season for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So at the beginning of the year, they were already concerned about some of the things that Urban Meyer was doing. And now, after he is caught in his restaurant, kind of getting a little close with a young woman, dancing and doing all sorts of things, as his wife, you can't make this up, as his wife was at home with the grandkids. And on social media saying, yeah, Bubba, Papa, whatever she called him, Daddy, what she called him? Whatever, nickname, pet name. Daddy needs some time off. She's at home alone, and Urban is out in the crowd messing around with somebody who he has kind of intimated is a random person that he doesn't really know, but that's questionable. Last thing I'll say on this. Last thing I'll say besides, I won't be shocked if he doesn't make it through the year. That's not a hot take. I've been saying it all along. Be consistent. This is not just a reactionary comment on the news of the day. I'll be surprised if he makes it through the entire year. I thought maybe this would be happening next year. I don't know if he'll make it to game 10 or game 11. Really, I'm serious. But the last thing I'll say on this is, and you'll disagree. You'll get mad at me over this. So be it. We got families disagree. Why do we always say when people get in trouble and it's not illegal, we say that's between him and his wife? Or, that's not for me to comment on. Why not? Why not? Why don't we comment on these things? Urban Meyer has made himself out to be a reliable head coach, a family man. He has taught, his wife has been a part of press conferences when he is announced at schools. He has talked about his wife. His wife talks about him. Why don't we say, well, wait a minute. Doesn't that speak to a part of his character? Don't be afraid to say it. I'm not afraid to say it. Yes, I will judge him on this. I will judge and say, oh, that's another piece of information about Urban Meyer that maybe I didn't know. Maybe I didn't know that he was doing things like that. Yes, I will. Pay attention to this situation.